So there's
Maybe.
a happy little knock at your behemoth's door. Just a little dut, 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 dut,
I'll
type
go
of well,
get
that
it.
okay. You open up the door and you see the familiar face of Lee. He looks pretty much the same, except he has a really big black eye on his left eye, and a bit of a cut along his jawline to the right of his face. But he doesn't seem too worse for wear, or it doesn't hurt his spirits any. You do smell what smells like either vodka or whiskey on his breath as he says, "Hey there! Ah, that smells good. What are you having for dinner?"
Hang on a second. Patrick, it's for you! And then Mila turns and smiles at him.
Is it the DB?
No! It's that drunk guy!
Which one?
Which one are you? She looks
He
at
gives
Lee.
an unimpressed look. It's Lee. And I'm actually not here to see Patrick. I'm here to see, what's her name? Starts with a P. Lady in a wheelchair.
Pamel?
Yeah. I'm here
Patrick,
to see
never
her.
mind! We need Pamel!
Which drunk guy?
It doesn't matter! Just send Pamel up here!
Okay.
No, it kind of matters.
She'll be right here.
Hey,
So
can I-
how are you doing?
Good. Can I come in?
What happened to your face?
Oh, bar fight. You know how it is.
You fought with a bar?
No, I was. Can I come in?
Yeah, come on! Mila would like grab his arm and like just like gingerly lead him back to the group.
All right. He goes back to town. He smells. He kind of just gives a high and knowing look to all of you. And goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bother you or anything like that. I know that you guys normally eat around this time, and I just came here just to finish up the business that we had, and maybe I could grab a bowl of whatever you're having there, if you don't mind."
Mila, that's Lee.
Yeah, Lee. She kind of looks like like she knew it the whole time and slyly smiles and nods her head like she's in on something that you don't really know.
Tom's
Patrick
gonna
is
try
going
and
to try to unravel this mystery.
I'm trying to unravel this mystery.
Guys, it's
All right.
Mila. It's fucking Mila. Just let it go.
Al will say a pleasant hello, but he's too deep in thought to pay too much attention.
Fair enough.
Tom's
if no
going
one's-
to actually pipe up and tell him to go nuts on the food.
Okay. Oh, all right. Thanks. Yes. And Lee heads on over to the kitchen. He starts serving up some food, and he goes, "Well, the reason why I'm here, Miss Pamel, is that you owe me one, and I quote, really nice flask. So I was wondering if you're free. Maybe we go by, do a little flask shopping."
Are you two going on a date?
No, he says.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lee
no, we're
looks
not.
equally as unimpressed as Pamel. No, actually, no one can look as unimpressed as Pamel. He looks close to as unimpressed as Pamel.
Yeah. When do you want to do this? And where?
Well, let's see here. I think the stores are open for a couple more hours. We could swing on by after dinner if you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Mila, do you want to go shopping with us?
I would love to.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Lee has a bit of dinner there on the house. He actually has seconds since he was told to go nuts. He kind of just looks around at all of you. Do you strike up any sort of conversation? He's content with eating alone. I mean,
Yes.
quiet. Oh, okay.
How did you get that cut?
Oh, shard of glass went flying. Soon after you left, actually, I think. I can't remember. A couple nights ago was a bit of a blur.
It was getting pretty hectic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Someone threw something at some orc. Whatever.
Patrick,
Um,
that was you.
What? Lee kind of scrunches up and fades and goes, no, 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 that wasn't me.
No? Was it
No.
somebody else who levitated glasses?
Patrick, you're just making up stories. Don't worry about it. As he changes the subject. So, what's new in your lives, huh?
They've been talking to a stone all day. I think it's pretty crazy.
Uh-huh.
But I don't talk to stones. I just talk to Jackie, and sometimes I think she really does listen. But that's because Jackie and I are BFFs. But you know who else are BFFs? Me and Pam.
we high five.
So, at this kind of Lee's just like staring at you as he's just eating, just wondering, like his eyes are kind of glazed over. He's drunk, so he's tolerant of this. But after he fills his stomach, he gives out a bit of a belch, and he says, "Well, if you're all set, well, why don't we just get our shop on, huh?
Let's do it.
In fact, I know a really great place."
Great. Small question.
Yeah.
How much is very good?
Oh, I was thinking something that was worth like 1,000 credits or something. What? I've
No
always
way.
wanted a flask that had some gems in it. You know, you promised to
no
give
way.
me a really nice flask.
I love the belt.
What?
You are not spending 1,000
no,
credits
you're
on what is a
spending it.
glorified water bottle.
Uh, okay, well, how much are you willing to spend?
100 credits tops.
200.
Tops.
He says.
No way.
150?
You can get a great flask for $30.
Dollars?
Sorry,
Right.
credits. Oop.
It's undersea currency.
So, fine, 100 credits, but every single cred, okay? He says as he points the finger accusingly.
Only if you find something you really like.
Oh, I'm sure I'll find something, he says, as he gets up and pats off his grimy coat. Well, let's get this over with then, huh?
It's a bonding experience. It'll be great.
Pam,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, sir.
Tom's going to hand you a cred stick.
No, it's fine. You don't.
sure?
I threw it off a cliff. I got money. Thank
All
you.
right.
It's fine.
He was going to hand you a cred stick with 1,800 on it. Because he
You
has that.
rejected it. You didn't have time to look at it.
It's too late.
Yeah,
Too late.
he's just gonna put it back in his pocket.
It's fine.
I'm gonna get another cred stick of 100. Excuse me. There we go.
All right. So, Pamel. So it's going to be Pamel, Mila, and Lee during this shopping excursion. Is anyone else going?
I am
Tom's
going
not
to
going.
the library
Yeah.
Okay.
if I have time for such things.
Am baking a plan, so Al's just gonna sit there, completely inwardly looking at, thinking. Like he doesn't even notice the room almost.
Okay. All right. So let's do that little scene with Lee and Mila and Pam. So since you will not agree to a diamond encrusted flask, as Lee has really put his heart to, he supposes you can head over to the Naughty Compass, which is a front. It's a very large 2-story building, which is in the style of like an old frontier fur trader. In fact, it is very reminiscent of the stylings of Perrin's Post when you visited there. And it sells camping, hunting, fishing, and survival supplies, but Finger had his eyes on a really nice, sturdy, durable flask made of this really fine metal. that he was just hoping that they could get. So uh, the only tricky thing is that what entering the store, a few of the staff members take one look and, more importantly, smell at Lee and suggest that perhaps this establishment is not a good place for him to visit just yet. They're being as polite as possible, but it's clear that they don't want him shopping in their store because he is clearly inebriated. To which Lee tries to prove to them that he's not drunk by trying to walk in a straight line, but he fails 3 steps in.
Can Mila just pick him up and say, "We'll wait outside"? Like put him over her shoulder.
Sure. Lee kind of wraps his arm around your shoulder and he looks at you and he murmurs something about, for being batshit insane, you're kind of hot, as he starts to snooze, have a little micro snooze as you're leaning over. All right, so Pamela, do you just go in and buy the damn flask?
I hope I don't have a fever.
Yes, but are there any that are covered in rhinestones?
No, there aren't any.
Just wondering. He said gem encrusted.
No, he wanted the gem encrusted one, but since you weren't going to pay for it, he went to a place that just sold basic good flasks, but not with gems in it.
All right. She gets it and gets a gift. Can you get it gift wrapped?
They can put it in a box and put like a fabric bow on it. They don't have any sort of wrapping paper, unfortunately, just here in Post-Apocalyptia. But they can dress it up a little bit if you like.
That's perfect, yes.
5 credits, yeah. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Now, this is another thing that's really interesting. I don't know how many places you have been, Pamel, or your interactions with humans and non-humans, but this was a very pleasant shopping experience. Not a single staff member stared at you, looked at you suspiciously, accused you of anything. You felt like an actual customer here in New Laszlo. So whether that's a common thing or an uncommon thing, I'll leave that up to your character, but I figured I'd at least color the mood of that purchase.
That's nice.
As you emerge out from there with your little box, at this point, Lee has woken back up and he's singing a song to Mila. You're not too sure if he's serenading her or if he's just swooning because of the booze, but he's halfway through the verse.
Does Mila know the song?
No, but I can sing a little bit of it for you if you like.
No, she'll just she'll be listening to her headphones and be singing that.
Okay. So that's the scene that you come across there, Pam.
Oh boy. She's going to gently tap Lee on the head with the box.
Okay. Oh, Sarah, would you come out to, what? Oh! He looks over to the box and he wiggles his fingers greedily at it and goes, "Is that for me?"
Happy birthday to you. And she gives it to him.
Thanks, he says. Can I open it?
Of course.
Okay. He looks at you suspiciously for a second, but his greed gets the best of any. Oh, he tears open the bow and opens the box. He goes, "Ah!" They didn't have the black one, did they?
Nope, they did not.
We could always paint it.
No, it's fine. It's good. You know what? It's better than the other flask, so it was worth me not being with it for a couple days. So it's not full with anything, is it? And he shakes it by his ear.
We could put chocolate milk in it.
You could put chocolate milk in it.
I don't want that milk. He said. And he goes, "Well, I guess we can say this finishes our final transaction. I would wish you the best, but," he says as he shrugs, and then he just starts to stumble away down the street, away from you two.
Goodbye, Lee. It's mutual.
As he starts singing his little ditty again. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
Really good today. We did something really good.
We're better people for it.
You're
I think so.
something.
I think so.
Oh my god.
We're the
Um,
best team ever.
We really are.
Okay, so that'll end up that scene. My next planned scene is actually in the morning when you folks arise. I don't have anything else planned, but are there any interactions that you guys would like to do with each other or with any NPC in
Um,
the time?
Mila would go up to Tom and ask if she can borrow more paper and coloring utensils.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yay! Okay.
Okay.
Then she'd go off into her room.
All right. I don't know how much time I had tonight. Did I actually go to the library?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Patrick. I forgot. Yeah, the library closes at 10 o'clock in the evening. But by the time you get there, you have like a good solid 3.5 hours. What are you looking for?
Stuff on I don't know what's specifically in the restricted section, but I would probably I got a special card for a restricted section.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
Um,
VIP section. Restricted sounds like alarms will go off, but it's all good.
I would probably go for anything that I can know as like DB's magic spacecrafts.
Okay, well, you'll have to specify because it's a library, and the section itself has quite a few old tomes, schematics, data, that whole thing. So, what you're asking is for a very broad search. Just because of the plethora of information and the limited time that you have, I would suggest you pick one topic at first. You know what I
One
mean?
topic. All right.
Because I can't just give you everything, like everything about DBs that's in there.
All of the things.
I, as a GM, do not have that fucking planned. So
Okay. So, I'm going to go with. Would you be more interested? Since magic and DBs are probably a bit more on the probably going to be in the strictest section. He's most likely going to go for that more than this spaceships and whatnot.
okay.
So he's most likely going to go for let's go with more of a magical knowledge and more specific than that.
Well,
Um,
instead of saying specifics, well, what about magic do you want to know? Like, what is Patrick's objective? Like, what is he looking for?
this is more for like a broadening of horizons sort of thing.
Okay. Oh, I see. So just to kind of color, like when you do a positive check, you can be like, oh, you read in New Lazo Library that blank, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it might come up or whatever.
Okay, I see what you mean now. I thought you were fishing for something very specific in particular, but this
No.
is more of on building up a knowledge base.
Yes, his knowledge base
okay.
is very shallow in comparison to
What's all there?
yeah.
Okay, so you get yourself nice and comfortable with some data and some books and some graphs and some maps and the whole shebang. And yeah, you have a very nice evening, a very quiet evening in the library, just absorbing as much as you possibly can in that time. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. All right. Anyone else? Any other scenes or anything like that you want to do? Tasks, conversations, anything?
No.
Nope.
Tom's going to be spending the rest of the night in his room and writing in his journal.
Okay. Fair enough.
Actually, Al would like to talk to at least Tom and probably Patrick and maybe Pam and Alicia, and Mila might find it kind of boring. But he's been thinking a lot and putting together a plan that may have a chance at working, and he needs to run it by people.
All right. Start her up. I think we can find a time where all of you can get together, probably just before bed, maybe when Patrick comes in.
Al would start by saying, "Look, I tried to make a play to try and help us find out who the changeling is. It didn't work. It failed miserably. I don't want to rely on Nathan, and I'm sure you can all agree that the less we have to owe that man, the better. But we need to find that changeling. I might have a way to get the information we need, but I don't know its chances of working, so I wanted to throw it by a bunch of people and see what you thought. So, the one person that I can be fairly confident isn't a changeling, given the description that the lizard mage gave us, is the Shauna. She works way too hard and has way too much stress and responsibility for a very selfish, self-serving changeling. However, since she's on the council, she probably knows a lot about the other counselors and would probably have at least suspicions as to who to look for. Obviously, though, we can't just walk in there and say, oh, hey, we think one of your council's a changeling, and have her believe us. However, if we use what happened today to our advantage, and say that a man was brought into my clinic named Fredericks Fartherheart, who was very brutally injured and died on my operating table, but not before he told me about this info that someone's a changeling and maybe he is was a coalition agent or something. Then we bring this to her. We try and make it look credible enough that she looks into the matter, and then we have Jackie follow her and see what she does.
That's definitely an idea. It sounds like it could work. I don't know. I'm not good with this kind of stuff. I'm not good with the whole espionage thing. It might work.
Well, I guess my suggestion. Hmm. I'm not quite sure if this is the best way to do this. The information we're most likely going to get from whoever your old acquaintance was is probably going to be more in the broad section than something that we're really going to need to do a lot of favors for. And we're already giving him a giant favor.
Right, which is why I'd rather avoid that at all costs. Which is why I came up with this plan to try and do that. I'm not sure. Are we on the same page?
No.
This entire plan I described to you was in an attempt to not have to use Nathan's information.
Right. I'm just, is there a bad thing if we do use his information?
Yes, we owe Nathan a favor, and it would... Oh, first of all, we don't know what he's going to ask us to do. We might end up having to do something we find morally compromising. We owe him a favor, and we have no guarantee that he's actually going to play ball and give us information that's useful. So we may end up doing a favor for information that doesn't even help us.
I think the less people who know what we're up to, the better.
Right. But understand the way Nathan can operate. He very easily could give us just enough information to make us come back and do another favor, to get just a little bit more information to come back and do another favor. He could play ball. He might not. If we can avoid using him, it's for the best. Trust me. I would like to do... Go ahead.
I can trust you on this. I would say he would be shooting himself in the foot at that case. We already told him that we need this information to actually be able to do the favor for him. So if he actually wants us, if he wants his dead bodies, he needs to play ball with us.
And no. He knows that we need him right now just as much as he needs us. And if he has 6 favors that he needs done, you better guarantee that he's going to do his best to make sure we do all 6 of those favors before he gets us what we need. he knows that at the moment we need his information in order to pull this off, so we need him just as badly as he needs us.
I don't know why he wouldn't help himself. It. Maybe you know Nathan more than I do, so I'm just gonna uh, say okay. But it'd be really. Let's just say we did figure out who the changeling was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming the lizard mage is going to make him not be in that position anymore, one way or another. I don't think he's just going to get a scolding.
I was under the impression that we were to take care of the changeling, not simply find the changeling.
No,
You are wrong.
Oh, okay.
we are supposed to find him and just tell him who he is, maybe even where he is, but mostly who he is, and that's it.
Then in that case, telling Shauna about it, and if she finds him, she would want to arrest him or do something. So that is more detrimental than not. So Nathan's information is pretty much our only chance to do this quietly. And like Al just kind of pinches his nose and squeezes his eyes shut and says, all right.
Hold up a second. The GM's going to help you out here. God's going to help you out.
Ooh.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys, if you guys want to listen to what Nathan has, that's great. I have that opportunity, but I'm getting the feeling that you guys think in character, the only way you're going to be able to figure this out is to help Nathan. Like, we're doing a plot point and like a quest checklist, and that's not necessarily true. You do have the resources and skills to find the changeling on your own. You just have to approach it a different way. Okay. Think about the clues that I gave you. Would you like me? I can repeat them for you if you like.
I would very much, yes.
All right. So give me a moment as I just bring out my past session here so I can tell you exactly, once again, because you would remember in character, right?
Mm-hmm.
His description of what a changeling, how to help differentiate changelings, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he knows what he knows about the changeling is. Give me just 2 moments. Okay. Neek is known to be cunning, but also lazy. He enjoys power, but hates responsibility. You remember that part? So you thought, government. He even suggested bureaucrat, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's most likely in some social position that allows him to enjoy the fruits of other people's labor, and merely delegate rather than do something themselves. Okay, fine. They're also known to have weak constitutions. They do not like to do long, strenuous activity, and they can become short of breath easily. And they are very susceptible to poisons and disease. And the most damning evidence is that a shapeshifter can never hide is their severe reaction to salt. Any amount of salt, once ingested, causes them to become extremely ill, with dizziness, vomiting, and other flu-like symptoms for an entire day.
Oh, holy crap, why didn't I write this stuff down? Thank you, God.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Because I was feeling how this is working. Like I said, I have shit prepared with Nathan. So if you want to go down that route, it's great. But I really don't want you guys to think of like, oh, we hit a wall. Now we have to. We have to. You know what I mean? So
New plan, everyone. How about this? What if we convince Zoe, and I'm sure she wouldn't take too much convincing to get on board, to throw a special banquet for the Inner Council as part of our celebration for everything they've done. Obviously, this town has been hit hard, and we wanted to show their appreciation because having the traveling band here had to have been more stress on them in this kind of time. Throw a fairly extravagant banquet. Even if we have to bankroll it, we bankroll it, and then we just make sure that the food we offer, all of it, has some sort of salt in it. Then either all six council members show up, they eat the salt and nothing happens, and we know, okay, we're looking in the completely wrong ballpark. Some show up and nothing happens, we know then there are chances that the ones that didn't show up are really them. Or the best case scenario, one of them eats it and gets sick.